You'd think that after 7 film adaptations, Little Women would, slow down a little bit, but it still gets released. 2019 was the most recent adaptation of the film of the 1868 novel of the same name, and to be fair, everyone kind of has their own ideal as to what the perfect Little Women adaptation is. For me, it will be this one. The 2019 edition was probably the best. It's not easy to try and distinguish the story separately from all the ones that have come before, so the best way to do that is through your cast and your cinematography, and Greta Gerwig managed to do that exquisitely well in this film, in my point of view. The film stars big hitting actors such as Saoirse Ronan, Timothee Chalamet, Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, all people that you're likely to have already known before you go into the film, and it is something that I think Greta Gerwig was aware of when she came to cast this film, that she wanted to have as many top billed actors and actresses in it as she possibly could in an effort to get people to go and see the film. Gerwig, I have to say, is one of the few female directors that is known in mainstream media and is continuing to grow pretty much year on year. We saw when she did Lady Bird, which got a Best Picture nomination and a nomination for Saoirse Ronan as Best Actress, that while Gerwig was not nominated, and perhaps she should have been, it did give the opportunity in this film for them to showcase what they could do together again. So again, some nominations were lacking, but as we all know the story of Little Women, and if you don't, it only takes about 5 minutes at this point to go and find it, there is next to zero incentive for me to cover it or for you to listen to me do so. So let's just move on to the cast. The girl's mother is played by Laura Dern, who exudes a warmth and care that you'd expect a woman of this era to have. And for Saoirse, the minute that I heard Gerwig was going to direct, I just assumed Saoirse Ronan was going to be in it. I didn't expect her to play the lead, but I knew she was going to appear in this film at some point, as the pair just seemed to, have a symbiotic relationship in that way. But Ronan is a powerful actress as per usual, and in this role you could see her be a tomboy, a girly girl, someone with extreme elements of range, that she was able to sell all aspects of the character of Jo to the audience and make it believable. That she does not allow herself to get typecasted, such as Lady Bird, Mary Queen of Scots, Little Women. Saoirse just kind of does what she wants to do, and it generally works out quite well for her. The time that I heard Emma Watson was cast, I just kind of expected her to play a main role, but to be fair, that's only just because I think about Harry Potter every time I think of her, when she probably hasn't done as many roles outside of that as you would expect. So it does make sense that her roles were, a bit more refined, and she did well here playing the elder sister, and the chemistry between Ronan and Watson did make it feel like a relationship between siblings, and one that you probably wish you had with your own siblings growing up. Chalamet is a great actor whom I do have to say I expect to be around for a rather extended period of time, and he does remind me of DiCaprio early on in his career, where you're just kind of able to play whatever kind of role you really want to do. He's been in so many things and has so many opportunities that he just loves his work and tries to be as diverse as he possibly can be. He's been in The King, Lady Bird, Call Me by Your Name, Dune, Little Women now, and this, and they're always such a range of characters with having very little in common, but he always manages to portray himself in such a vulnerable manner. The film is something that is able to prompt discussion between everyone who goes to see it, whether they want to talk about the types of love that are referred to in the film, who Jo should have ended up with, what could have happened with Laurie and Amy in the future, and every other aspect that the audience is just able to resonate with. That you do end up with a story that, despite, as I mentioned, having been told numerous times before, it is still worth getting told again and again. The film has cuts throughout where it refers to the past of our Little Women, but it doesn't tell us that we're in a flashback. Instead, it just expects you to be able to figure that out as the scene begins to play. It becomes easier to do so when you notice there are physical differences between our characters, but there were colour grade changes earlier on in the past, where we started off with, for example, earlier on in the film it is kind of full of colour, then becomes a little bit grey and then full of colour again. I like to just think of it as very little colour, Jo meets Laurie, we get colour, issues, grey, they find their way, colour. Pretty much the way that I viewed it the whole way. And there is use of quick cuts throughout the film, and and you're only in each scene for as long as you actually need to be there, instead of just dwelling on the situations that you're in, which created a situation where the film is both fast-paced and longing at the same time. You get to see everything you need to see for as long as you need to see it. I didn't think about the music in the film a lot until there was a montage towards the end, and I then at that point realised that the score of this film was amazing and something that was done beautifully. That I didn't notice it because it was done in tune with the scenes and with the words that are spoken by the characters, that you ended up in a situation where it was a complimentary piece as opposed to trying to be overbearing or underwhelming. And Alexandre Desplat, I need to get better at these, did a great job of creating something that is long lasting. Like, I've since gone and bought the CD and have it in my shelf at home, that you really do just want to hear it again and again and again, and I do believe that I will repeatedly think of this adaptation of the film as the one for me, as opposed to any of the ones that have come before. But Lord knows, there may be another one in the future. There probably will be.